our today's convening is to show to our suspects, some of whom are likely to be convicts at the crime scene, that our armory has been widely opened, and we are now ready for deployment. In fact, as we live here, we shall even ask people to do self-deployment. But before we move any further, I will ask our colleague Mwafrika Nana to read the statement, the press statement for the rest of us, and then we shall begin from there to guide the rest of the country on our next course of action as we move along. Nana.
Good morning. From different political, social, professional, and ethnic backgrounds, meet for a common cause. We all agree that Uganda is beyond being at the crossroads, rather drowning ocean bottom as we all look on. Our convening here aims at letting the public know that unless we do something, this time, not only shall we be considered a dead generation, but the spirits of our ancestors will haunt us forever. We come in peace, but with determination, to let you know that the majority of those we entrusted with our political offices have become either accomplices, culprits, beneficiaries, or sympathizers of the misrule. In our attempt to bring sanity to our pile, we wish to ask government to avail us with practical measures of job creation for its citizens, to avail the public the practical measures of fighting corruption. As for the Parliament, we ask you to amend the Administration of Parliament Act to match our economic status. When our economy goes up, we can even buy each one of you a private jet. But to also let you know that Ugandans can live without you, and that you can't live without Ugandans. We have a series of activities ahead of us, among others to ask Ugandans to reach out to their leaders, especially members of Parliament's homes, appreciating them for the great works they have done for this country. We call upon citizens to boycott religious places where the corrupt prey from and share the loot with some religious leaders. Media houses should stop hosting government officials with corruption scandals. We call upon cultural institutions to desist from accepting the loot disguised as donations to such cultural institutions. We call upon citizens to move with whistles and blow them everywhere they go, everywhere they meet those leaders they deem to be corrupt and incompetent, among other peaceful activities that aim at making Uganda a better country with opportunities and equality for all. We must make corruption and our leaders, incompetence very costly. And with these, all activists, all veteran activists out there that didn't make it here, you are called upon to lead from within your regions to completely make corrupt leaders, members of Parliament, very, very uncomfortable in this behavior of theirs. I'm Miss Nana Mwafrika on behalf of Human Rights Defenders, and at this point I will add a little about this day. This day is when Ugandans are called upon to say enough gets to be called enough. We have had sanctions from the West, sanctioning the woman that hails from Bukedea to come and mistreat activists, to come and mistreat human rights defenders. She recently had a peaceful protester, Nansubuga, thrown into prison for merely holding out a placard announcing her thought about corruption, denouncing corruption, calling for its end. A fellow activist, Burora Anderson, as we speak, is still in the coolers for having offended the same Ugandan that hails from Bukedea. It's not enough to call her a stepmother. Has she become a stepmother for this country, for the children of Uganda? The list of the people that have been abducted, pulled roughly from their residences and thrown into the coolers over merely, expressing themselves about the unbecoming of this lady many call the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda. We choose to call her the woman from Bukedea. We have arrangements with people of Bukedea to straighten their statement on what they sent this mother, who has become a stepmother, to do in the house that Ugandans expect hope, expect legislation. We have many among peaceful activities. We have arrangement to completely go ahead to visit each region where most of the named corrupt government officials hail from. We cannot go into the detail on what we will do. The legal means, the means that are within the basis of human rights that we shall use to make corruption completely costly. We hear that the head of state of Uganda is positioning himself to be at the forefront, at the front line of fighting corruption, even when we see him appointing ex-convicts in institutions like URA, and we are saying we will not take the confusion anymore. We need practical measures that the head of state is deploying to fight corruption, which many believe he is the architect of. As activists, we are not going to sit back as the country gets, drilled to the dogs. We will peacefully express ourselves. We will encourage and mobilize Ugandans to make it completely impossible, to make a very impossible situation for those that are putting themselves in positions of leadership, but just squandering and making Ugandans suffer. Thank you.
I think to emphasize precisely Luganda, and of course I would have my seniors who are, good at Luganda. Ebiseera bino nga Uganda bwe tukiraba efuuse y'akaweereege ngaddya lya bukadde, era nabwe ekityo nga sipiika oba bagenda kubabba nga ajja bakunkumula mujja kutya, kubanga baba kinanisa akyagala nga nalongo okuzaala abalongo. Naye kati ate olugero lwe tulina bakinanisa akyagala nga ayinza okuzaala abalongo, kubanga era abayina nabwe ekityo bw'atubba kyaka twandidulira n'omukubira enduulu tatulimba babbira baana. So ezo engero ezimu ziringa esitandisa otutuukirira naye nga situukirira ku bannaffe bano. Naye tukubiriza bannayuganda, bw'obanga gw'olina essabo olyo ng'omulabyeyo si yekka, ne bw'olabayo mukulu Museveni mugobe mu ssabo, takwata mu bibbo, mutwale entyagi takwata mu bibbo, bajja mu kkanisa enduulu yeeyo, bajja mu katale kuba nduulu, kale waakiri kaaba kuba miranga okabira omubbi, bwajja ku media house akatebe kajjeewo dduka tasabula mu bwo. Tukunga buli munnayuganda waali bw'omulaba mu restaurant ey'ebbeeyi ng'ayina engeri gy'asiga ekigaati kino kibbaga ng'agenda okkiruma mumuveemu kimulekere. Nabwe ekityo bano abatwala restaurant zino nagana amawoteri bwe balaba nga tusizaawo embeera bwetyo bajja kutambula wamu naffe. Ne bwaleta omunyago gwe mu bbanka, eyo sente ya kibi mukubira enduulu bwoba ne firimbi ebyokukola tulina bingi era essaawa yonna bannange nga bwe tukola wano bwe tuli mu bino bye tukitandise bagenda kuleeta enteekateeka nga bagenda otambula tulabe nti twejjako obubbi buno buyitiridde kati bwe bayita mubalaba so tubeegayirira bannaffe newankubadde mwakinaanika akyagala ne mulonda ndaba kuki bwafuna ogufo ate buno obubbi bwe tugoba tebuliiko gavumenti tebuliiko opposition era tulina ne bannaffe mu opposition nga no baafuuka bakinaanika akyagala baafuuka bagwa mu bintu so bwe tuba tubakubira enduulu ne bannaffe mu opposition nga nabo babbye nga nabo balina ssente ze bakwatamu ne batobekamu ebigalo ebyo ebigalo tujja simanyi na kyabbikolera oba tunaabifunira njuki tubituuzeemu ebigalo tetumanyi naye buno obubbi bwe tuzze okugoba n'okukubira enduulu bukwata wonna era n'abasumba babbi gye bali n'abamasaba babbi nabo gye bali abasamize bannabyafuzi gye bali mu opposition ne mu gavumenti so tuzze kulangirira lutalo ngera mumulaba zino emmundu zonna ekiro ekyankuba temukirabye leero bwe kitonye kati sanction zino zawano nga tunalinda mu Ngereza sanctioninga abantu bano tusobola naffe okuteekawo sanctions era bw'omulaba mu taxi gwe ku banduulu bamugive mugye mulekere n'ebitongole simayanga bino bano baboda n'abaana baabwe mubaboole era sanctions zawano zino zaffe tetugenda kulinda abantu bebweru kutuyambako babbi nga tubalina wano so bwe tunabassaako kino ekikookolo nga bali wano nga n'ebweru tebalina we bayitira we bali akasente kano kandi bakaayira ne kakomawo okukola ebintu bye kalina okukola Uganda mukiraba nga bweyimiridde katutandike ne mukulu kire kyankuba ngera mukirabe nga kitonnya atubuulire ekigenda